Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Today I wanted to talk to you about somebody that I have met a few times. Good guy. Every time I've met him has been, super about veterans. And I saw an article that it's about him and $100 million pledge that he's made to veteran organizations or groups out there that are doing good things for veterans. Now, although he's not a veteran and really doesn't have any super strong ties to military or veteran, he is all about the veteran community, which is just, it's I guess, a really good feeling to know that there's people out there that actually care about the veteran community that aren't a veteran themselves or have any really close ties. This person is Craig Newmark. And Craig, if you don't know who Craig Newmark is, he is the founder of Craigslist. And although he stepped down years ago from being the CEO of that, and has basically just been doing, philanthropy type stuff ever since. So obviously, dealing with other things and other opportunities as they arise. But he really is a giver, and he really does have a really good spot in his heart for veterans. So I wanted to read to you this article that I saw on Military Times. And again, the headline here is $100 million pledge to Vets Group is money owed to them, Newmark says. So again, Newmark, that's his last name, Craig Newmark. All right, so let's jump into it. I'll read this to you, give you kind of my 2 cents along the way. All right. Why would a self-described tech nerd with no personal connection to the armed forces give away $100 million to organizations focused on veterans and military families? Good question, right? Because I owe them. Imagine if our elected officials felt that way. That'd be amazing. Because I owe them, said Craig Newmark, the founder of Craigslist turned philanthropist and veterans advocate. I'm going to highlight that veterans advocate part because I would say the first time I met him was probably maybe 7 years ago or so. And then I met him 5 years, maybe 5 years ago as well. So a couple different times, and we've communicated a few times in between that and a little bit after that. But, I'm not saying we're best buds or anything by any means. It's just happened to meet him a couple times, happened to communicate a couple times. That's it. Great guy, doing great things for veterans, and that's why I'm sharing this. So, here's a quote from him. It says, "I've realized that some people are going to risk themselves, maybe taking a bullet overseas to protect me. There are a lot of issues in the military community that I barely understand, but on a gut level, I know we owe vets and their families a lot." What a great quote. Newmark, who stepped down as CEO of his namesake website more than 20 years ago, has spent most of the last 8 years focused on charity work, launching the Craig Newmark Philanthropies to distribute some of his personal wealth. The latest $100 million pledge is actually a continuation of recent efforts focused on military groups. About $42 million of that money has already been given away, including $10 million each to Blue Star Families, great cause, and the Bob Woodruff Foundation. The rest of the money will be awarded over the next 3 years. In announcing a big number, as Newmark deemed it during a sit-down with Military Times, he hopes to spur not only new research and outreach among established military supporters, but also to draw public attention to those efforts, some of which have fallen out of the public eye since the end of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's hard to ask someone to do their best to serve their country if they're worried about their family back home, or if they're worried that they may be abandoned as a vet, he said. So people in industry and also one percenters everywhere probably could pony up some cash to help out. Newmark's foundation said the money will be directed toward contributing to solutions for the most pressing challenges facing veterans and military families. A list that includes mental health problems. Darn thing just moved on me. Mental health problems, food insecurities, employment challenges, and loneliness. And I'll tell you, employment challenges for those that come back off of a deployment or what have you, if you don't have money coming in and you can't meet your obligations, all of a sudden the depression, the anxiety, the stress start to skyrocket. And then the isolation starts to happen, and not good things. So I'm a big proponent of employment services to help bridge the gap between employers that want to hire veterans and veterans seeking employment, right? Or reservists, National Guard members as well, and spouses, of course. So moving on. The beneficiaries of the donations say the money provides unexpected opportunities for growth and outreach. Blue Star families, for example, will see their operating budget almost double thanks to the new money. Officials hope to use it to further research on the struggles of military families and open more chapters to connect spouses with each other. This is really transformational for us, said Kathy Roth, hard name to say, CEO of Blue Star Families. When you're a nonprofit, you don't get investors and you don't grow like a for-profit. You have to grow in increments. But with a big infusion like this, you can leap to the next level, and that's exciting. Newmark has a Demetrius seat at the Blue Star Family's board of directors, but describes his role as mostly listening and getting out of the way. While advocates work towards solutions, he believes most Americans support helping military members and their families, but don't know what it means or how to do it. We need to learn from what we already know, that we owe vets and their families, he said. They've done the job we've asked. They've made great sacrifices. It feels right to do something about it. And that concludes this article on Craig Newmark's $100 million throwout. And I agree with him that he's putting the words out there and kind of publicizing a little bit, because it could spark others to do the same. And that's the important piece, right? So if we're able to get more people doing that type of stuff, you could put a dent in some other issues, and also just raising awareness overall. So with that, we'll go ahead and conclude it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And you know what? You remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.